Hello everyone, it's Sheree from Turquoise Dreaming. How is everybody doing? I'm here to share this journal with you today. I want to welcome everyone to my channel, and this is the series of 3 hardback book journals that I've done for the Spring Stashbuster Junk Journal Challenge. It's on Facebook, put on by Dear Julie and Kara Brandon, and so I'm just here to share this journal, and the other 2 I'll share in separate videos, and then I'll be putting these up in my Etsy shop. But this, I have totally enjoyed and thoroughly enjoyed this challenge, because the challenge was to use what you have. So it's been just so cool because I was tempted to buy a couple things, and I was like, no, I'm not supposed to buy anything. I'm supposed to use what's in my stash. So it made me get more creative as far as using things in my stash. And one of those things was I was tempted to buy some bookbinding tape. I've never used that. I've always used fabric or whatever to make the new spines on books. And on these books, they were so old and cool. I would just wanted them to look really perfect. That's just me. And so I was tempted to buy some, bookbinding tape so it can be like professional or something. I don't know. But I didn't do it. I did not do it. I even looked on Amazon to see how much it was. I was like, oh, it was kind of expensive, I thought. So I thought, well, that even made me get creative also. Didn't want to spend the money on it, and besides, we weren't supposed to. It was one of the rules, so I stuck with the rules, and this is what I came up with. I showed this cover before, but I hadn't finished it, and so this is the cover on this one. This is a really old, early 1900s book, and it's a math textbook. You can see the New Day arithmetic here, and then it has a name down here. And then, so what I did was I just made a little collage here because this area was blank. I washed the book real good, so any marks you see left are after washing and from age. And in the middle here was a little, I don't know what had gotten on it. Just it was there when I bought it. I bought this at a thrift store, and it was a little like red mark, like a circular red mark. And so I really wanted to cover that up, so I put a piece of the math book on here. I have some time card here, this bronze colored book nameplate, a little piece of lace here with a bulb pin and a bronze key. And then for the spine, I had this trim in my stash, and I thought I thought of it, but I didn't know if it would work. So when I put it on here, I was like, wow. I mean, I think it looks really gorgeous. I mean, when I look at this, it's just so, I think it's really beautiful. I mean, I know I made it and I'm prejudiced, but I mean, I just thought, wow, I just, I'm so glad that I was doing it for the challenge, because I didn't buy the book tape and I used this trim. And I mean, I just think it's really beautiful the way it looks on here. So I don't want to delay in getting started with the flip through, but I just thought it came out so cool. So, and the whole look of the front cover is really beautiful. So as we get inside the cover here, I've got a book plate here where this belongs to, and it has a line down here, and this is sewn around. And I've got lots of goodies tucked in here in this journal. This is a vintage postcard. It is used. It has writing on the back, as you can see, handwriting. And so it's an original. It's not a copy or anything. And it has a 6-cent stamp on it. I cannot see the year. The stamp is kind of not really stamped well, and it's probably faded too. But it's just a really cool, I love that when they're used and you can see the handwriting and read someone's, what they were doing on their vacation or something. So I just think I love used postcards. There's some note paper in there, and one of my letters that I've been making, kind of a vintagey letter. Oh, this one's a menu. This is a French menu, so I think these are really cool looking, and I coffee dyed those on the back. They can be used for journaling or whatever you want. Oh, and I was going to show you real quick. It's you know, I tried to make it so it would close pretty well, but it is, you know, pretty chunky, and it's pretty there with all the pages. I did stick with a neutral theme because I wanted this to be a vintage look. And here's the top with the 2 signatures, and the side like I showed you, and so just really cool. And so as we go through, I had done a video on the pages, so you know, I've got in here some of the old pages from that dining room drawer, and some map, coffee dyed papers, lined and plain or unlined. You know, so ledger paper. Here's that plastic round. It's like a sticker, but it's really cool looking. It's kind of postage related, and you know, I love ledger paper. And then I put I think 3 rubber stamps in here. This one says "Good Things Are Happening" right there, and I used my coffee colored ink that I got. And here's a brown paper bag, one of the printed ones. And then I've got lots of goodies in here. Just a little receipt, and this is a bridge scorecard, a really cool one. Some cut off of ledger paper and a tag in the bag here. And then some lined coffee dyed paper, and just I'll flip through because I've showed the pages already. This is that original letter right here, and there's a little, it makes a little pocket here if you want to stick something in there. And then this is the calendar, the old calendar that was in that dining room drawer. A little fold out here of graph paper, and that's coffee dyed graph paper. This is the center. This is vintage music paper that's been coffee dyed. And then this is the center of the first signature with a double pocket here made from a large Rolodex card. I've got a plain card here and a bridge tally card in this pocket here. And this on the pocket, on the Rolodex card, I do have a quote sticker that those were really cool. I thought those were in that dining room drawer. So I had some cool stuff in there. So coffee dyed graph paper. Here I put in this pocket the original letter here. I put a little picture in there. That's that calendar. Some really cool papers. Okay, in this bag I've got just some, let's see. This was from an old Smash book, like journaling card booklet that I had, so I put that in there. This is a petty cash receipt, an old one. Monopoly money, and a tag made from cardstock. I've got a little finger hole in this one too. Makes it a little easier to get stuff in there sometimes, except this receipt is just exactly the size of the bag pretty much, so it's a little harder to get in there. So give me 1 second. Let me see if I can get it back in there, or I might have to do it later. Yeah, I just might have to do it later. No, maybe not. There we go. And the receipt. Sorry, it took so long. There we go. I just like to get things back to where they were before, the way they were before we move on. Okay, in the middle of the 2 signatures, I made a little booklet for each of these hardback covers. And this, let me see here. Got a little piece folded up here. But this is made out of a time card, and I wanted to make these out of time cards because, you know, the time cards are like cardstock, so they're strong. I did distress it and put some collaging here. This is a flower that I made out of some cutouts. It's a layered flower with a little button in the middle. And then this is just a scrappy little notebook that I wanted to do for each one. I just, in the interest of stash busting and using my scraps, I just put several scraps in here. There's some of them fold out, so lots of room for writing, and then it's sewn in on my sewing machine. And in the middle, this is Daphne's diary paper, so just lots of fun little scraps there. I've got that doily wrapped around the back here, so that's the back of it. So I thought those turned out really cute. And then this is the second signature, and this is some pretty paper from that drawer, the scrapbooking paper that I found in there, the old scrapbooking paper. This is a ledger page pocket here, and in here I have one of my old letters, the French letters that I've been making. You know, they're coffee dyed on the back. And then, get that in there. I've got a piece of a book page here. This is an artist book that was about learning how to draw. I've got that in there. And this is a tag. And then a Tim Holtz flower. So 4 things in there. This is some tracing paper. This is a page from the math book. Here's another rubber stamp here on this coffee dyed page, Seeker of Everyday Magic. And I just love that coffee colored ink. It looks so pretty and vintagey. This is a piece from the German book that I've also used in this series, and so this is all German. If you can read German, you'll be able to read that. Otherwise, it's just very pretty. This is the envelope that went with that original letter. So here's the front of it with the postmark and the return address and the other address who it's to. This is from the calendar, that old calendar. And here's another, this is a coffee dyed envelope that I put in here, and another rubber stamp that says remember. And in here I've got a few little items, a Monopoly card, and this is a piece from an address book, and this is just a little piece from a planner or some note paper, and I put this stamp on here that says just because. So those are in that envelope. This is the middle of the second signature, and I didn't put, I don't know if you've noticed, but I didn't put anything on the strings in this one. I just, I don't know, I didn't feel like it called for it for some reason. I don't know, I usually do put beads on, but what I thought I'd do is put some in the little pack of ephemera that I put, along with whenever somebody buys a journal, I put a pack of ephemera in there. And I thought I'd just stick some beads in there in case someone wants to put beads on those. That would be something fun that you could do. So this is the back side of that envelope that came with that original letter. So we're on the back side of the second signature here. Here's a library index card here. This is an original. And I've got in here a guest check, a little journaling paper that it says take note, and this one I have in the pocket a little smile tag. And let's see if this one, I think this one flips up. Yeah, that's a flip up. So that's in there, and a little tag, pretty little tag. And that's the math book paper. Okay, this one I did a little mini challenge within this Stashbuster challenge. They did a mini challenge, and so what it was, we had to use something metal, something round, a piece of lace, and something to the right, which I wasn't sure what that meant, but I hope I did it right. So I made these tags. I thought when she says something metal, I was like, oh cool, what do I have that's metal? And I thought of these little key tags, and then I thought I actually had keys. I just had done a video where I got it, went to an estate sale, and in the video I showed these keys, and I was like, well, that's a cool chance for me to use these keys. So it's like a postal related, this is a little piece of a receipt. I have some postal related postmarks on here from an actual envelope, and then, rubber stamping of postmarks. There's my piece of lace, and I'd stamp the postmark also on the key tag on both sides, and then there's the key. So I thought that really, I love these. I want to make more of these. They were not hard to make. I can do a tutorial on it if anybody wants to. Just put in the comments, yes, Sheree, please do a tutorial on the tags. But this was so much fun. It was pretty quick, and I think they look, I mean, this is just right up my alley, and I just love how they came out. So I will definitely be making more of those as long as I have some keys. I don't have that many, but I'll be looking for more keys. So that was really fun. And then this is a couple little tags, or 3 little tags here. It's just fun little tags. So those are also in there, and that's sewn around. And then we have a coffee dyed doily, and then we're at the back here. And like a video or two ago, I did a video where I did a tutorial on making these envelopes. So this is one of the decorated envelopes that I finished off camera. And so you can see I used my scraps to make this. There is a postage stamp right here, a 3-cent stamp. This actually was never used. My husband found these in somewhere, and he was cleaning something out, and he found these and gave them to me because he figured, why use them now? I mean, they're still good, but he doesn't really need a 3-cent stamp now. So he let me have those, and then I've got some buttons here and some postmarks. The word inspire right here, some vintage trim. So that's the front. This is the back. This is the envelope with the big flap, and then that's the back of my layering and collaging there of using up my scraps, and it's all aged and everything. So those came out, I think, really, I mean, I love them, so hopefully you all will too. I've got the little pocket here made out of a little mini postcard. This is just some journaling cards. Some, I got those at a thrift shop, and I thought they were cute. So, those are just some little cards from my stash. And this is really some beautiful stationery that I have in my stash. For one thing, it's very pretty, and the second thing, it's very thick. I've never felt such thick stationery, but I did get that at a thrift store, and when I found it, I thought it was really pretty. So, it was cheap, so I got it, and so I'm just sharing it in my journals here. So that's it for this one. I'll do 2 more videos on the other ones so we can go through them in detail like we did this one. And I want to thank everyone for watching today. I hope you liked it, and I'm getting ready to go list it in my shop. So everyone have a great day, and see you next time.